Hello viewers, welcome to the lecture series of SSC Quantitative Aptitude. This is your tutor Keshav Agarwal and this lecture on simple interest. So in this lecture, we are going to solve 21 previous year questions on simple interest. So let's start with the very first question. Question number 1. At simple interest, a certain sum amounts to 12,000 rupees in 5 years and to 18,000 rupees in 8 years. What is the rate of simple interest per annum on offer? Let us have a look over the solution. Yearly simple interest on sum in 8 minus 5, that is 3 years, is equal to 18,000 minus 12,000 upon 3. So which is equal to 2,000 rupees. The simple interest for 5 years is equal to 2,000 times of 5, that is 10,000 rupees. So the initial sum, which is 12,000 minus 10,000, and it is equal to 2,000 rupees. So let the simple interest be R%. So according to the concept, 2,000 plus 2,000 into R into 5 upon 100 is equal to 12,000. So 2,000 times of R into 5 upon 100 is equal to 10,000. So R is equal to 100. So the rate of simple interest is 100%. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 2. The simple interest received on sum for 20 years is 3 upon 5 of the sum. What is the annual rate of interest? So the solution, simple interest is equal to PRT upon 100. So given time equal to 100 rupees, 120 years. So 3P upon 5 is equal to P into R into 20 upon 100. So R is equal to 3% per annum. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 3. Find the rate of simple interest per annum at which sum of rupees 1,200 will amount 1,800 rupees in 4 years. So let the rate of interest be R. And simple interest is given to be 1800 minus 1200, that is 600. So the person wants to earn the interest of 600 rupees. So what will be the rate? So simple interest is given to be PRT upon 100. So P is 1200 principal amount, rate is unknown R, and time is 4 years. So over the 4-year period, we want 600 rupees interest. So the rate is equal to, when you simplify this, you will get rate equal to 12.5%. Therefore, 12.5% is the required rate per annum. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 4. On a simple interest, rupees 708 becomes rupees 944 in 4 years. If the rate of interest is increased by 5%, then rupees 675 will become how much in 4 years? So let the original rate of interest be R%. So according to the concept, 708 plus 708 times of R times of 4 upon 100 is equal to 744. So 708 times of R times of 4 upon 100 is equal to 944 minus 708. So which is equal to 236. So R is equal to 236 times of 25 upon 708. That means R is equal to 25 upon 3. So the revised rate of interest is 25 upon 3 plus 5, which is 40 by 3%. So now in 4 years, at a rate of 40 by 3%, 675 rupees will amount to 675 plus 675 into rate into time upon 100. It is equal to 675 plus 360, which is 1,035 rupees. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 5. What is the simple interest on principal of 16,000 rupees for 3 years at the rate of 10% per annum? So let us have a look over the solution. Now, the simple interest on principal of 16,000 rupees for 3 years at the rate of 10% per annum is equal to 16,000 into 3 into 10 upon 100, which is simple interest is equal to PRT upon 100. So that formula is being used here. So when you solve this, these two zeros get cancelled by this, and when you solve this, you will have 4,800 rupees. So the simple interest on principal of 16,000 rupees for 3 years at the rate of 10% per annum is 4,800 rupees. The option correct here is option B. Question number 6. At what rate percent per annum will a sum of money triples in 20 years on simple interest? So the simple interest is given to be PRT upon 100. So given final amount is equal to 3P. That means if P amount was invested, then after 20 years, we want the amount to be get tripled. That means we want to withdraw 3P. The time is given to be 20 years and the principal is P. So we have simple interest. We have amount equal to principal plus simple interest. So amount is 3P and principal is P, and the simple interest is P into R into 20 upon 100. So when you simplify this, you will have 2P equal to PR upon 5. So R is equal to 10%. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 7. Simple interest received by a person 12 years on a principal of rupees 12,000 rupees is 120% of the principal. What is the annual rate of interest? So the solution, the principal is equal to 12,000 rupees and the time is 12 years. So the interest is equal to 120% of principal. That means 1.2 into 12,000. That is 14,400 rupees. So the simple interest will be equal to principal into rate into time upon 10. So 14,400 is equal to 12,000 into R into 12 upon 100. So when you simplify this, you will have rate equal to 10%. So the option correct here is option B. Question number 8. A sum of rupees 11,064 gives an interest of 2,766 in X years at 5% per annum simple interest. What will be the value of X? So now recall the formula. Simple interest is equal to principal into rate into time. So here it is given that principal is equal to 11,064 rupees and the simple interest is equal to 2,766 rupees and the rate is 5% and we want to find the time it takes to get this much amount of interest over the period of what time at the rate of 5% per annum. So we are going to use this formula. So simple interest is given to be 2,766. Principal is 11,064. Rate is known and time is not known. So we are going to find out time here. So 2,766 is equal to 11,064 times of 5 times T upon 100. So when you simplify this, you will get 2,766 equal to 553.2 T. And when you solve it, divide this number, you will get T equal to 5 years. So therefore, T is equal to 5 years. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 9. What will be the simple interest on principal of rupees 980 for 4 years at a rate of 12% per annum? So simple interest is given by principal into rate into time upon 100. So the simple interest SI is simple interest here. P is principal, which is given to be 980 rupees, and rate per annum is 12%, and time given in years is 4. So if we have to just substitute the values, we will have simple interest equal to 980 into 12 into 4 upon 100. That is equal to 47040 upon 100, which is 470.4. So the option correct here is option B, which says over the period of 4 years, at this amount, at this interest rate, you will get 470.4 rupees. Question number 10. A sum becomes rupees 14,400 in 3 years and 15,500 in 4 years at simple interest. Find the sum. So let us have a look over the solution. So let P equal to principal, so the original sum, and R is rate of interest per year. So using the formula, simple interest equal to principal into rate into time upon 100. So in the first case, for 3 years, the sum becomes rupees 14,400. That means 14,400, that is amount equal to principal P plus simple interest here. So P into R into for the time of 3 years upon 100. And when the same amount is invested for 4 years, you get amount equal to 15,500, which is equal to principal plus simple interest. So this is equation 2. And now if you see, you have two variables, two equations, so we can solve them to obtain a unique value of P and R. So subtract first equation from second, you will have 1100 equal to PR. So 14,400 equal to 3PR equal to P plus 3 into 1100. So 14,400 is equal to P plus 3,300. So P is equal to 14,400 minus 3,300 equal to 11,100 rupees. So here the sum of money the originally invested was 11,100 rupees. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 11. What is the simple interest on rupees 14,400 for 12 months if the rate of interest be 11% per annum? So the simple interest is equal to principal into rate into time upon 100. So given principal P is equal to rupees 14,400 and the rate R is given to be 11% per annum, and the time T is equal to 12 months, which is 1 year. So the simple interest is given by this formula. So we have to just substitute the values in the main formula, which will be 14,400 principal, rate is 11% and time is 1. So upon 100, it will be 158400 upon 100, which is 1,584 rupees. So the option that is correct is option D. Question number 12. A sum of rupees 900 is divided into two parts, such that the interest on the first part at 4% simple interest per annum and that of on the other part at 2% simple interest per annum are equal. What is the interest accumulated on each part in a year? So let us have a look over the solution. Let x be the first part and 900 minus x the second part. So the interest equation is 4% of x equal to 2% of 900 minus x. So 0.04x is equal to 0.02 times of 900 minus x. So 0.04x is equal to 18 minus 0.02x. So x is equal to 300. So the two parts are, first part is 300 and the second part is 900 minus 300, that is 600. So the calculate interest on 300 at 4%, 300 into 0.04 which is 12, and 600 at 2% will be 600 into 0.02 which is 12. Therefore the correct answer here is option C, that is 12 rupees. Question number 13. A sum becomes 12,960 in 2 years at the rate of 4% per annum on simple interest. What is the sum? So we know that amount is equal to principal plus simple interest, that is amount equal to P into 1 in plus RT. So the final amount is final amount, P is principal amount that was initially invested, initial sum, and R is the interest rate in decimals, and time T is in years. So here it is given that amount A is 12,960 and R is given to be 4%, which means 0.04, and time is 2 years. Now we have all the values and we want to just find out what is the value of P, that is the amount that was initially invested. So when you substitute the values, you will have 12,960 equal to P times of 1 plus 0.04 into 2, and the right hand side will get simplified to P times of 1.08. So send this 1.08 to the left hand side, you will get P equal to 12,000 rupees. So therefore the initial sum that was invested by the person to get the interest of this much amount is 12,000 rupees. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 14. Sumit lent rupees 5,000 to Ram for 2 years and rupees 8,000 to Mayur for 3 years on simple interest at the same rate of interest and received rupees 1,700 in the total from both of them as interest. What is the rate of interest per annum? So let us have a look over the solution. Let the rate be R% per annum. So interest of Ram will be 5,000 into 2, that is time, into R rate upon 100. And the interest of Mayur will be 8,000 into 3 into R upon 100. And the total interest is 1,700. So the total interest earned by both of them, earned by Ram and Mayur is 1,700. So this interest plus this interest is going to be 1,700. So that means when you simplify it, you will get 34,000 R upon 100 equal to 1,700. So R will be equal to 1,700 into 100 upon 34,000, which is 5. So the correct answer is 5% per annum. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 15. Simple interest received by a person in 15 years on a principal of rupees 6,000 is 150% of the principal. What is the annual rate of interest? So the solution, principal P is equal to 6,000 rupees and the time T is 15 years. So the interest I will be equal to 150% of principal. That means 1.5 times of 6,000. That is 9,000 rupees. So the simple interest is given by principal into rate into time upon 100. So I is equal to 9,000, P is 6,000, R is unknown, time is 15 years, and upon 100, which will be equal to 900 R. So when you simplify this and this get cancelled, this goes 10 times. So R is equal to 10%. The option correct here is option C. Question number 16. A person lent certain sum of money at annual rate of 5% on simple interest. In 4 years, the interest amounted to rupees 800. What is the sum lent? So the solution, interest is equal to principal into rate into time, where I is interest, P is principal, R is rate, and T is time. And in this question, I is given to be 800 rupees and R is given to be 0.05 and time is 4 years. So when you substitute the values, you will have 800 equal to principal into 0.05 into 4. That means 800 equal to 0.2p. So p is equal to 800 upon 0.2, which is 4000. So therefore the sum lent was rupees 4000 rupees. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 17. What is the rate? What is that rate of simple interest at which a sum of money becomes 3 times of itself in 36 years? So let principal be P and time be 36 years. So the amount A is 3P. So the simple interest formula is A equal to P into 1 plus RT. So where R is equal to rate of interest in decimals. So 3P equal to P into 1 plus 36R equal to 3, that is 36R. So when you simplify this, you will have R equal to 2 upon 36, which is equal to 5.55556%. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 18. A sum of rupees 6,000 is divided into 2 parts. The annual simple interest on the first part at the annual rate of 10% is equal to the annual simple interest on the second part at the annual rate of 15%. How much is the interest on each part for 1 year? So let us have a look over the solution. Let x be the first part. Then 6,000 minus x is the second part. So the interest equation will be 10% of x equal to 15% of 6,000 minus x. So 0.1x equal to 0.15 times of 6,000 minus x. So 0.1x is equal to 900 minus 0.15x equal to 900. So x is equal to 3600. So the first part is 3600 and the second part is 2400. So the interest on first part is 10% of 3600, that is 360, and the interest on second part is 15% of 2400, that is 360. So both parts earn rupees 360 interest. So the option correct here is option C. Question number 19. A sum of rupees 2600 is invested in a scheme of simple interest. It becomes 3,320 rupees in 3 years. How much this sum will become in 5 years? So let us have a look over the solution. So in this question, principal is given to be 2600 rupees and the amount after 3 years is 3,320 rupees and the time is 3 years. So the interest I is equal to A minus P equal to 3,320 minus 2600, which is 720 rupees. The simple interest I is equal to P into R into T upon 100. So 720 equal to 2600 into R into 3 upon 100. So rate is going to be 9.23%. And for 5 years, simple interest I will be equal to 2600 into 9.23 into 5 upon 100, that is 1200 rupees. So the amount after 5 years will be P plus I, that is 3,800 rupees. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 20. A sum of rupees 1500 amounts to rupees 2175 in 3 years at simple interest. If the rate of interest is increased by 3%, then what will be the new amount? So the solution, principal P is equal to 1500 and the time T is given to be 3 years. So the amount will be 2175. So this all information is given in the question. So now the interest I is equal to amount minus principal, that is 6675. The rate of interest is going to be interest into 100 upon principal into time. So which is equal to 675 interest into 100 upon 1500 principal into time 3, which is 15%. The new rate is 15% plus 3, that is 18%. So the new interest is principal into rate into time upon 100 equal to 1500 into 18 into 3 upon 100, that is 810. So the new amount is principal plus new interest equal to 2310. So the option correct here is option A. Question number 21. What is the simple interest on rupees 14,400 for 12 months? The rate of interest be 11% per annum. So the given simple interest is given by principal into rate into time upon 100. Here principal P is given by 14,400 rupees and the rate R is given by 11% per annum and the time T is 1 year. So the simple interest will be equal to 14,400 into 11 into 1 upon 100, which is equal to 1584. So the option correct here is option D. So thank you very much. This would be all for this lecture, and try to solve all these questions by your own. Thank you.